Hello, I'm back. We are in the midst of a pandemic. How could I not be back? It's Podcast Fat Boy. Let's go.
Who's a fat boy?
Podcast Fat Boy.
Hello, and hello. Can you believe this shit that is going on right now? It has been 3 months since I last recorded. It has been a crazy last 3 months for me. Big reason why I didn't record at all. I was going through some major fucking depression. Had to go back into therapy. Was really bad. So I just didn't feel like getting on here and talking to you guys, giving you updates about my life, because it was so fucking dark, you know? It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy couple years for being evicted from my fucking house by a rich fucking lawyer, getting married, best day of my life, and then being displaced. It's just been nuts. And the winter, it was dark, it was gray, it was getting to me. It didn't help. Didn't know what the fuck I want to do. Trying to figure out my shit. And then just before I'm about to take a step with some energy, this shit happens. I'm talking about COVID-19, novel coronavirus that has plagued the entire world. We are social distancing. We are stuck at home. People are losing their jobs. And we just don't really know when this is going to end. And it's crazy. I keep going through different motions with it where it doesn't really feel real. Like when you're watching the news and they're doing daily press conferences about this goddamn virus and how it keeps, shutting down stuff, implementing more rules to keep you inside. It's fucking crazy. But this is what it is, Think of the people in Africa who got to deal with, like, Ebola outbreaks. How many times have we seen that shit on the news? Didn't affect us at all. It's amazing to think that shit got contained, now that I think about it. And I know there's a lot of people that are saying different things about how it started. We all know it came from Wuhan in China. But was it from these exotic animal markets? Was it a bat that bit one of these weird animals that people like to eat? A lot of scientists are saying yes, that's where it's from. Just like SARS comes from the fucking bats. And speaking of bats, I was fucking evicted by vampires. So bats have been causing me a lot of shit lately. Stupid bats. I don't think... Are people really eating bats? I don't think so. Are people having bat soup? Dear God. I hope everybody has been listening to the past episodes how I have said, what have I said from time to time? Download these episodes onto a CD. I want them burned. And I want them placed in abandoned warehouses and homes for the apocalypse. And we're here. So to those listeners, thank you. Thank you for doing what I said. It's going to make sure there's also a ghetto blaster of some kind in those homes and warehouses so people can listen to the disc for entertainment in the dark. I don't know. It's watching Donald Trump, watching that fucking idiot telling people to take these drugs that aren't approved by FDA. People are dying and they still support them. I just don't get it. What the fuck? If you are a fucking Trump supporter and you listen to this podcast, what the fuck? Isn't the joke over? We get it. We get that politics is bullshit. And you got this fucking reality TV star in to just kind of fuck everything up. But now you need someone who's a leader, who knows how to be a politician. And you ain't going to fucking have that with that asshole. This guy is fucking costing you your life. Man, America. And he wants to put people up at the border. He wants to put people at the Canadian border. Thinking that, well, we're going to come down to the States? You got a fucking mind, buddy? You put your troops there at the border to make sure your fucking citizens don't try to get up into the north, okay? Because that's the only way it's going. No one's going down to Buffalo to get the fucking deals right now in the outlet malls, okay? We don't give a shit about that. Our fucking gas is at 69 cents. Costco is 55 cents. You know the last time I've seen gas at 55 cents a liter? I was probably like 12 or 13 years old. 55. Holy shit. That is some crazy shit. You know, if we want to get to a fitness update for me, I'll tell you this. Going through all the depression and the fucking gloomy feelings and stuff, I lost my appetite. I wasn't eating as much. There's some days where I had to force myself to eat. There's some days where I went, I don't know, at least 18 to 20 hours without food. I just couldn't eat. Like I was able to choke down some kind of food in the day, but I wasn't eating as much as I usually do. I wasn't getting all the bullshit calories, and I wasn't drinking. And what do you know? All that weight that I've been trying to lose by playing hockey and everything else, it started to fall off. And I think I'm down around 210 or 211 now. I think the worst I've ever been is close to 230. So I've lost a lot of weight. And now it might not be a healthy way to lose it, but I was still eating. I was still having like a nutritious dinner and stuff. And I just wasn't eating as many calories. So it started to burn off a little bit. Now I think it did kind of plateau around 211. And now that the fucking apocalypse is here, what do you know? I started drinking a little bit more again. Not a ton. I'm not getting wasted every night, but I got a fucking drink beside me right now. I need a fucking drink beside me right now. How could you not have a little swiggeroo during this shit? I just went first time today to a store. I went to a Shoppers Drug Mart. And I haven't really been out much. Like I think a week and a half before that, I went to a grocery store. I have been lucky that I have not had to be the one in the house that's been doing the shopping. There weren't even that many people there. It was easy to social distance. I brought in a wet wipe with me in my hand to wipe on the basket, the thing that you hold. And then I kind of had a game plan in my head because I knew I was going to pay with my phone. So I was like, I'm not going to touch anything in here with my right hand. I'm just going to use the left hand. And it really wasn't too bad, but it was stressful. It was you know, how many times have you gone in to a store with a cold or someone's had the flu? Like people go in and they don't think twice about getting their droplets on shit. I fucking brought Listerine home today and I washed it in the sink for the first time in my life. I washed Listerine. I washed shaving cream. To be honest with you, I've been washing my hands more than I ever have in my life. More efficiently than I ever have. And I think that speaks to a lot of people right now. It's a scary ass thing. Some people don't even get any symptoms. Some people are asymptomatic. Other people just have mild symptoms that are super mild. Other people are fucking like really struggling. Other people are on fucking ventilators. They can barely fucking breathe. They can't stop coughing. It feels like the flu that I had when I came back from Las Vegas on November 1st. Now, that was long before this outbreak happened in Wuhan. It was months before, so not related, just your typical flu I had, but it feels like the same thing in a lot of way. Because I couldn't stop coughing after that too. I was coughing for weeks. Had a fever for a couple days. Fever, body aches, and the fucking cough. So it's like, I know it's worse with this coronavirus, with this COVID-19. I know it's fucking worse for the people that like are getting pneumonia from it. But I can kind of relate. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people out there can kind of relate. Because this shit, that fucking flu was going through people. It was going through communities. And then this shit happens. It's just so nuts how everything shut down. And I've wanted to, for the last couple of weeks, to come on here and do episode 50, because I know I said I was going to do it by the end of 2019. I wanted to get that in, but I couldn't. And the months went on and on. January, February can go fuck themselves. Those were just the two worst months that I've had in, I don't know, a good decade. Fucking terrible. But we've got a lot to be grateful for. We've got 4 people in this house right now. We're all healthy. Seemingly. Nobody's got it, as far as I know. I haven't been into a crazy epicenter of people in over 2 weeks. It was 2.5 weeks. And when I was there, when I was downtown in Toronto, I was careful. And I knew I had to be careful. Then, now, listen to me. Because this is a fitness health podcast, I talk about exercise a lot. You motherfucking joggers out there, okay? Huffing and puffing. Don't be running by people when they're walking on the street. When they're trying to keep their fucking social distancing and you're coming by huffing and puffing, dropping your fucking droplets everywhere. What the fuck are you thinking? Move to the road when you see people. Get the fuck out of the way. You fucking assholes. Nobody needs that shit, okay? I don't know what it is. I don't know what's worse, the snowbirds or the fucking joggers. Because now people are getting together in groups. Shit, you don't fucking get it, do you? People are just like, fuck it, just give it to me and I'll fight it off. Like in the fucking UK where they want to do like a herd mentality. How's that working out? Oh man. You know, it's hard to think. It's hard to be positive during this time. It's okay. We can be negative right now. I know it's going to get better. I know we can get through it. I know we're fucking resilient. But man, what are we supposed to do here? How do we get back to normal? It's going to take a long time to feel normal again. And we're trying to figure out our fucking future. How can anybody think about anything? Like, you just got to hang on to what you have until the clouds fucking clear. It's like, it's just, I guess we just can't really be too hard on ourselves right now about stuff because we're so out of control. We can't carry on as business as usual. You're fucking lucky if you have a job that's allowed to stay open right now. Even though there's ridiculous amount of essential services that the province is letting stay open. But there's so many people that can't work. It's just freaking nuts. So I'm thinking that I better check in. I better get back on this a little bit to document the times of what's going on. How we flatten the curve, if we flatten the curve. Are we going to have to do social distancing in cycles. Like 2 months of social distancing and 1 month off just sounds fucking insane to me. Like, what has it been, 2 weeks? 2 months? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we have to do this for 5 or 6 months? Oh my God. It'll be so brutal. I don't know. How? It's just crazy. Just waiting for some kind of miracle vaccine. Hopefully they make. It's going to take a long time to get a vaccine. Especially when they are able to release it to the public. They got to test this shit. So what can we do? We just friggin' hunker down, wash your hands, try not to touch your face. Oh man, it's so hard for me because I've had this bad habit since I was a kid and it's tied into anxiety, but I bite my nails and a lot of the time it's like involuntary. Like I don't even know I'm doing it. I don't even notice sometimes that I'm doing it. But I've been working really hard not to. And if I ever do, it's like after I've done a very extensive wash. But I'm really just trying not to. Trying not to do it at all. And like, especially when I was in my car after going to the store and I drove around and I got, got the sanitizer all over my hands. And it's like, it's flying around everywhere. It's just like I got the wipes, I wipe it down my car. It's just like, oh my God. There's definitely nothing alive on my hands right now. That's not a good thing. They always tell you not to use too much sanitizer. Now we're bathing it. Now we're doing the splits and we're squirting it on our taints. But what are we supposed to do? We're just trying to do our best. Thank God I don't live in America. You Americans, if there are any Americans out there listening to the podcast, Fat Boy Podcast, if you've been along with me on this journey of health, fitness, and improvement, I feel so sorry for you. You guys are in it for the long fucking haul. That is for sure. And, it's scary because New York is just across the lake. It's across the fucking lake from us. So close, yet so far, because we got that beautiful thing called the border. And none of you New York is coming up here, okay? You got to stay there. You got to fight it out. Man, but I really do hope that everybody pulls through this. Because I know there were a lot of good people in America. There are more people that voted against that fucking idiot that won on a shitty technicality electoral vote bullshit. Man, when I rebooted this podcast, remember in 2017, it was the start of the Trump ride. And it feels like it's been so long and he's not even my president. He's not even our leader. He has nothing to do with our country. But we are inundated with this fucking idiot every day who tweets like a child, who trolls, and he's just the worst. Okay? But what we're going to do, enough talk about this COVID shit. Let's talk about a little something else just to get our mind off it a little bit. Some other shit. Other shit. What are we doing to take our mind off these times? There's got to be some things. People are writing more. People are doing, Zoom video conferencing. We did, there's a thing called Netflix Party, which is a Chrome extension for the Chrome browser on your computer. And what you can do is if you just add that extension, you can watch Netflix with your friends remotely. It'll all be in sync. Everyone has control of it to pause it, to play it. It's kind of great. You can set up a Zoom or a video call or a conference call, whatever you want if you guys want to talk over the movie a little bit. Had some friends. We did it. It was great. Hoping to do it again. You know, people are playing games. People are just, you know, checking in with vid chat. And that's good. Everyone's watching the Tiger King. You know, going through these fucked up times. Why not watch a 7-part doc about a fucked up part of America? There's so many fucked up parts to that country, but the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, has his own goddamn zoo. Well, he did. Spoiler alert. Guy had, it's just crazy to think, yeah, when you go to a zoo, you know, and I don't go to zoos very much. I don't know how I feel about them. Even the ones that are not a backyard fucking jungle gym. Like Joe Exotic's like a fucking Toronto public zoo. They usually have like a couple of tigers, don't they? Like two, maybe 2 to 4. Not 200. 200 tigers. And he fed them expired Walmart food. I guess when food is expired Walmart, they just throw it out and you can just, if you want it, you can take it. I can't believe that that's even an option. You can just pick up expired food. But I guess, like, yeah, they got iron stomachs, those tigers, so you can give them a little bit of a spoiled meat. They'll slurp that right down. Jesus. Then he's putting it on the pizza that he made in the... Oh, man. It's so fucked up. There's one thing, and now if the listeners... I don't understand it, but he said he had some kind of a ring on his Prince Albert, which I think he meant his penis. And he pointed to a padlock and says that that's what he needs to use. He has that on his Prince Albert because the ring isn't big enough. So I just don't understand what that means. Does he have a padlock through his dick? Like, I can imagine Joe Exotic having that. Right off the end of his dick, he just put a giant padlock through it. Oh, he must be so gnarly down there. So gnarly. Ugh. It really stressed me. The most stressful part of that whole documentary is when you have to see his bedroom. You see, like, how that's kept. That really stressed me out. It's like, oh, you have like 2 husbands in here. Oh, it's so fucking... And then if one husband dies and he's got the fucking strobe light with the guy's picture on it, it's strobing while he's there. He's like, I never turn it off. It's beside the bed. And so, yeah, you just see that. You'd be laying... I feel bad for the toothless motherfucker who's got to lay on his back. Watch that fucking thing strobing at the ceiling all night. Joe Exotic. Holy fuck, that was crazy. That's something you got to watch, though. That's going to get your mind off this goddamn shit. Okay? And then the new season of Ozarks came out, if you're a big fan of Justin Bateman. But that is, you're going to have full anxiety the entire time. Like, there's no joy in the season. It's just like anxiety and panic gripping your heart through the whole thing. There's like nothing pleasant. There's no pleasant moments so far. We're halfway through it. We've done 5 episodes. Just nothing. I think a kid got a drone. That's about as happy as it gets. Kid playing with drone. Weird guy taking a bath in a fancy house. That's about it. It's the only joy you're going to get that. But these are all good distractions, right? Because we need to work out. I'm trying to use the exercise bike. I've been having a lot of anxiety. My anxiety's really amped up in the last couple of months. So I'm trying to manage that without having to go back on medication because I'm getting close to wanting to pop some pills, let me tell you, in a big fucking way with all this shit, you know? How could you not? But we got to look forward, people. I know I sound fucking negative and I'm a little pissed off at this goddamn pandemic. I just want to eat fucking pizza every goddamn day. I don't want to worry about it ripping my insides apart. I just want a personal pan pizza. Something that I can, you know, like, thank God, you know what's going on with Italy. Thank God we can make pizza here. Thank God we don't have to import pizza Thank God they told us the secret to make pizza. We don't have to import it, because guess what? Those imports would be fucking shut down right now. There'd be no exports coming out of Italy. They're in their fucking, they can't even leave their rooms. They gotta sing in the streets. That's all they can do. They are fucked over there. Beautiful country, Italy. Mamma mia, son la fia. All that stuff. Pizza, linguine. What are we supposed to do? I want a fucking Bristol Pan pizza. Bristol Pandemic pizza. Extra olives. You know, all I gotta say is everyone be good to be good to yourselves during this time. If you gotta give yourself a little treat here and there, give yourself a little treat. Try to find a little bit of light through this, because once we open up a little bit of light, you're gonna see a little bit more light, man, and that's what we need right now. So this has been episode 50 of the, I forgot what I was doing, the podcast Fat Boy. Episode 50, guys. Here it is. We made it. Half a century. Crazy to think that I started this, I don't know, 2014, 6 years ago, and then I went on hiatus for a couple of years. I don't know what it is about this podcast, but I just can't shake it. I have to come back to it because it's been a journal. It's been a journal through time for me now. It's been almost 6 years. Really started even thinking about it 7 years ago. Recorded the first episode ever in Winnipeg. I think another thing I want to do is I want to check in with people, see how they are staying healthy, what exercising they're doing at home, how they're coping, I got to start checking around. So everyone just hang in there. Know that we all feel the fucking same way. And, there's a bit of solitude in that, knowing that this whole fucking world is in it together. And when there's that many people that are affected, we're going to get a fucking way out, because there's going to be more people focused on it. But we'll never forget. We'll never forget. So thank you for listening. Podcast Fat Boy. Make sure to check out Confederacy of Dunks if you want to listen to a basketball podcast. And I'm going to come back to you next week. Update on the pandemic.